today we are taking famous, iconic melodies and turning them into different genres. We're gonna do 3 different melodies that you definitely know and turn them into 3 different genres. So let's get to it. Also, this video is brought to you by East West, more on that later. So the first melody we've got is this one. Do you recognize it? So it's the Final Countdown melody by Europe, but now let's actually turn this into a synthwave track. So let's take the bass notes and add them to a bass sound. So I'm using this library called Iconic, which is all these amazing retro synths. So to get it started, I just put the bass notes on this bass. And that's our starting point. Now to hint at the melody from the beginning, I'm using this little bell, which is really clean. And I just sort of hint at the Final Countdown melody. Now let's add some effects like crashes. And this synth riser for the intro. Let's introduce some drums. Just nice vintage synthwave drums. And let's do a fill at the end here and move on to the drop. And now let's hit it with the drop. So in the first part we have this bass with no low frequencies. So in the drop we actually add the low frequencies. So we add another bass. That's just the sub bass. Once again, it's from Iconic. They have these classic sounds that are sort of replicas of famous synths, but they also have this beyond Iconic category where you have a more unique and fresh take on these synths that can be used in modern music as well. So I have this live mouse bass, really nice for a sub bass. Add the drums with the kick. Of course, all these sounds are sidechained as well. An open hi-hat for support. And now a must in any synthwave track, some big synth chords. So here are my chords. They are basically created from the bass melody. So we have the bass notes here. And then I just created some simple chords to go along with it. So we got these JP8 chords. And I also layered it with this future lead, which is just playing the higher notes of the chords. So let me just consolidate it so it's not taking up CPU. But now, of course, we want the melody in there, so let's add that. And they pretty much got the same exact sound from the original Final Countdown, called the Final Touchdown, and it's this synth. And here comes the first drop. In the second repetition of the drop, I also added the bells back in as a sort of a delay. And then I hit it with the second drop because I really wanted to play with more synths, so I decided to use this one, which to me is a really fun one. It's this mini trumpet and it sounds like this. I sort of created a different variation of the same melody. So yeah, a lot of cool sounds there. If you are interested in this library yourself, you can check it out on soundsonline.com. They have a great deal going right now, so grab it while you can. So we have this funky melody. But we are not done yet. I still wanted to add more synths, so I did one more variation of the drop with this crazy arpeggio. And basically it's an arpeggio that follows the chords. Really fast. And that concludes the first remix of a famous melody. Now let's hear the finished result, the final touchdown. Now, project number 2. This one will be a bit more crazier, because we are turning this one into techno. I wonder if you can recognize this melody without the synths, just in a piano form. You probably can. It's Michael Jackson Thriller, and we are gonna get these chords sounding a whole lot better. So let's take the chords, and we are gonna do a huge chord stack. So once again, in Iconic you've got these synths that are the replicas of these famous songs, and actually Michael Jackson's producer did work on this library. So we got these thrilling cropped chords. So we got a few layers. This is the first one, which already sounds pretty amazing. Then we've got this second layer. The third one, which is this organ layer. And we got the bass layer. Altogether it sounds like this. I had to consolidate this because my CPU was not handling it while recording the video. So I had to turn it into a WAV file, and it sounds like this. So yeah, that's gonna be our main catchphrase, I guess. But to make it a bit more epic, I'm also gonna add some crashes and kicks to support the synth. But now let's turn it into techno. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna add this rumble techno kick. Layer it with another kick. So we have this rumble. Then some percussions, some supporting bass sounds, just like that, some white noise. That's gonna be the bass of the song. And I also decided to add a sub bass right here, which is from Iconic. As I said, these sounds can be used in modern music effectively as well. So I'm using this Sky Zone bass. Sounds really nice in techno. We have some sweeps. Some more crashes to create sort of effects. Some brass hits. This offbeat sound, which is like a bass, but I did delete all the low frequencies from it. So it's just like this. Last but not least, we've got the melody from Michael Jackson, which is the bass melody in that original song, but here we actually turned it into like a lead melody. Sort of really light, it's like a minimalistic techno track. But it does not sound like Michael Jackson by itself. That's why we need to sprinkle in the big chords here and there to sort of reintroduce the original track. At the end of this repetition, we have this fill, which is the chords. So altogether, we start with the big synth, move to the drop, and we have a Michael Jackson techno track ready to go. But now, let's move on to the third one, which is the last one. So do you recognize this one? I bet you do. It's the Crazy Frog melody. It has 4.8 billion views on YouTube. So let's turn it into a modern house track. So it's already got like this house vibe, but we are gonna take it up a notch and make it more modern. So yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna start by building up my drums. So I've got this kick. I've got this rhythm. Another one. Another one. And some hi-hats. And by the way, all of these sounds are from my sample pack's staple sounds. If you are interested in those, the link will be below as well. It's on a huge sale right now, so now is a good time to grab it. So all the drums together sound like this. A really nice groovy rhythm. Let's introduce the bass melody. So once again, I'm using Iconic with this Venus bass. And if it wasn't obvious, you can also adjust these sounds in any way you want, like a normal synth. You got all these parameters to play with, but I actually like it like it was. Here's how it sounds. Really punchy, I love it. So that's gonna be our bass sound. And to support the bass, I actually used some piano sound from Nexus called Dance Piano. And I pretty much followed the bass notes, but created chords along to it. And then you have this. So I thought since we are trying to make modern house track, these chords will be ideal. But we need the star of the show, the melody. So once again, I found these synths that sound almost identical to the original. And I layered two of them. We got this one. Really nice clean synth. And this is the second one. And this melody is really catchy. But yeah, we got those two combined. And for the effects, I also put some Soundgoodizer on it to make it pop a bit more. Some reverb and adjusted the EQ. And also it's sidechained. So all of these sounds are sidechained. So every time the kick hits, the volume of these sounds is lowered. So they are sort of pumping. And in the drop, we've got the drums. In the intro, I used all of these loops, but in the actual drop, I kept it clean and we just got the kick, a clap, and an offbeat hi-hat. Introduce the bass. Introduce the piano. The downsweep. And the melody. But of course, we also got this important sound. Well, can you guess what it is? Well, let's preview the whole song and you will hear it. The Crazy Frog Modern House Edition. Let's color it green since it's a frog. It's a bit over the top, but we can handle it. So anyways, this is the last track. If you like these sounds that I used, check out Iconic from East West. Link is below in the description. Grab it while it's on sale. Anyways, now let's hear the finished result. Yeah, it wouldn't be a Crazy Frog song without that sound. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!